All right, hello everyone and welcome to my channel, The Best Loser. Today is the 4th of November 2025 and well, it's time for me to do the Mid-Week Forex Forecast for this week. Markets, obviously, we've now had more than a day's worth of trading, so the markets has moved. Let's take a look and see if there are any developments, or let's say any need to adjust our charts, and we'll be doing so accordingly. As usual, let me take a look at the economical calendar to see what's going on. All right, yesterday we did have the interest rates out of the Australia. All right, everything was kept at as anticipated at 3.6%, and well, later today, I think actually in the next few hours, actually in the next few minutes, actually we have employment and unemployment data coming out of New Zealand. Usually by this time I'm not trading unless I have a longer term position open. All right, but no intraday positions at this point for me, so I don't care much about this news. But I mean, keep an eye on it if you have anything open in a New Zealand pair. Tomorrow we do have some news, and we have Trump speaking. Pay attention to that news, because when Trump speaks, the market moves. Okay. All right, so we do have on Thursday we have the high impact interest rates decision coming out of the Bank of England. The anticipation is that well, we are going to still retain 4.0%. Let's see. And then later we do have will I say we are supposed to have the non-farm payroll. Okay, since this is the first Friday of the month, we're supposed to have non-farm payroll, but again, because of the government shutdown, it's currently a tentative news at this point. So these are things you're supposed to keep in mind going into the remainder of the week. Okay, now taking a look at the charts, as usual, I'm going to kick things off with Dixie. Okay, Dixie, obviously, as anticipated, this pair is, like I said, in a longer term bullish move. All right, long term bullish, and the markets opened and we just continue to push to the upside. Okay, and well, I have a few levels that I'm keeping an eye on. All right, if we take a look obviously at the daily now, I have this daily demand zone right here, as you can see, because obviously price has now clearly taken off this level of structure, and this is a nice demand zone for me to keep an eye on right now. It might still take some time for price to get there, but obviously I do have my eyes on that demand level. At any time we get price to finally give us that retracement into, let's say, 9900 institutional level, anywhere from right around there, obviously I'm going to be looking to go long. I don't know when that's going to happen. That most likely wouldn't be happening this week. All right, but I just wanted to call that out because again, that's a level that I'm keeping an eye on. All right, now if we go into the intradays, we do have two levels in the 4 hours time frame that I'm keeping an eye on. Okay, as you can see, we have this demand zone here. All right, these are pretty much the two demand zones that have not been tested yet. So this is the first one that led to the break of this level of structure, and we do have this other demand zone here that led to the break of this level of structure. Obviously, this one is closer to price, right around that 100 level, as you can see. So well, maybe during the Asia session today, who knows, we might get a retracement into this area. If we do, any bounces from there will be a nice opportunity to go long in this instrument. Okay, all right, so that's it for the Dixie. Like I said, in this midweek forecast, I intend not to take a lot of time. We're just gonna kind of run through and see how the market has been let's say up moving for the week. Okay, all right, next up is going to be euro dollar. Euro dollar obviously again continues to the downtrend. We didn't even get a pullback as anticipated from the weekend forex forecast, but again, the market is generally in a downtrend at the moment as a result of the strengthening dollar. All right, so well, what do we have here? Clear downtrend, in my own opinion. Well, we do have this like I said, this supply zone in the daily, but I'm not marking that out right now. I don't think price is going to get there anytime this week, so I'm not even marking that out. Keep in mind, let me show you something. We do have this particular zone. Let me zoom out 1 second. We do have this zone right around here from which price can easily tap, okay, and give us a little push to the upside. I don't think this is going to cause like a trend change. I think maybe price maybe gets to tap into this area, and then maybe somewhere in here we get maybe a little retracement that will probably take us to go and trend from a higher time frame, let's say maybe from like a 4 hours time frame, for the markets to continue pushing again to the downside. That's what I think this zone is going to do. Right now, this market is in a downtrend long term, so I don't think a daily will I say, a daily demand zone will cause these markets to change trend. Okay, maybe for a push to the upside into supply zones from the longer time frame, and then from there the markets will probably continue its journey to the downside. Again, it's all what we anticipate. It's not what the market will do. All right, now taking a look at the 4 hours time frame, I've mapped out 2 supply zones that I'm personally keeping an eye on. This one is very close to price. Maybe we get a dip into this area. If we get a retracement from here or reversals from there, I'll be looking to continue to the downside. That's probably my preferred course of action. But in the case that we do, maybe get a push into this area, maybe 56.75, 56.50 area, anywhere from right around here, any reversals, in my own opinion, would be a nice area for ones to start looking for short opportunities for further continuations to the downside. To be completely honest, I'm not keen on going long on euro dollar, because again, dollar is strong, and it's not worth the risk, in my own opinion. All right, so if anything, right now I want to be buying the US dollar at any opportunity that I get. Okay, all right, so that's it for euro dollar. Next up is going to be British pounds and US dollar. Now, taking a look at British pounds, US dollar, again, very nice downtrend, guys. And again, this downtrend is just starting. Believe me when I say that. Like, if you take a look at the 3 months charts, look at where we could be getting to, maybe towards 1.1200. That is right around the first stop of this pair, if we are truly in a downtrend. Just to give you an idea, okay? We're still within the supply zone. Just to show you guys what I mean, this is the supply zone right now, or maybe price is just making it out of that supply zone. So if this is correct, then chances are we have a lot of room to the downside in British pounds and US dollar. Okay, all right, so going back to the daily, well, we had this level that we were keeping an eye on. I was personally keeping a very close eye at this level. You can see this level of support here, support, and finally we get a little hesitation here. Market had to make a decision, and obviously because we're in a downtrend, the bears came in momentum and continue to push this market to the downside. So this supply zone right here on the daily chart is one that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Anytime the market gives us a pullback into this supply zone, guys, I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to go short for further continuations to the downside. All right, so that's around that 1.3100 institutional price level as well, just to keep an eye on that. Okay, all right. If we go into the 4 hours time frame, I don't have much in the 4 hours time frame. Again, that's the same zone. Who knows when we're going to get that push? Maybe we get a little push, and then whenever that happens, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go short for further continuations to the downside. All right, now if we go into the hourly time frame, okay, just to show you guys again levels that I'm keeping an eye on. Obviously, this supply zone that we have in here hasn't really been tested. So let's say by London tomorrow, okay, if the markets give us that push towards, let's say, 130.50 area, 130.55, and we start to reverse, I'll be looking for an opportunity to continue to ride this thing to the downside. Okay, that's pretty much what I can see right now in British pounds and US dollar. Okay, next up is going to be Australian dollar, US dollar. Okay, Australian dollar, US dollar, not much to say. Like I told you guys in the weekend Forex forecast, I said this market is turning to the downside. We have this flag formation. All right, we now obviously can begin to see that the breakout of the flag, the pullback, and now we have the continuation move that is about to form. Obviously, that will be completed whenever Australian dollar, US dollar takes off this particular low. All right, so we are still in early days, guys, even though this is looking as if we've had a significant move, because again, this move is happening in the daily charts. I just want you to know that we have not even started if this is the move that is panning out on our charts. Okay, so well, that being said, we have taken off this level that was working as resistance on our charts, and we thought it was going to work as support here, maybe to give us a little retracement for further continuations to the downside. The markets just opened, and you can see how the bears came into this market and just continue to push it to the downside. So that being said, obviously the bears are in control in these markets right now, and if we go into the hourly time frame, what I would like to see here is this supply zone hasn't been tested. Would like to see price give me a push into this area, 0.6500 area, and from there, any reversals, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go short for further continuations to the downside. Okay, even if it's not 6500, anywhere right around here, if we get that reversal, I'll be looking for an opportunity to continue to ride this to the downside. Okay, just follow the trend and try to find ways to enter upon pullbacks, okay, and confirmations. That's it. Simple as that. Okay. All right. So that's it for Australian dollar, US dollar. Next up is going to be New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Again, I continue to milk this pair, but well, like I told you guys, this is clearly downtrend. You can see I've now mapped out a new supply zone that has formed on the daily. Okay. Hopefully by the time this candle closes today, in the next few, let's say next 20 minutes, we're going to be closing below this low, so that will confirm this as my supply zone for sure. It's looking that way right now. Very nice outside bar formation as well. So a new supply zone is forming, and well, even if right now we get a push to the upside, I'm going to be keeping an eye around that area, 0.675750 area. Any reversals from there, I'm looking for an opportunity to go short, but again, that most likely wouldn't be happening this week. So let's take a look at the 4 hours time frame to see what's going on. All right, now in the 4 hours time frame, what do we have? Well, very nice supply zone area. You can see this area that's been working as support on our charts. Okay, how the markets took a breather here, and then from here a decision was made to stop pushing these markets to the downside, clearly also taking out this level of demand zone, this demand zone that we had right here. Okay, so that's pretty much what I can see right now. This is a very clear supply zone. If the market is to make it to this area, all right, anywhere from right around here, if we get any reversals, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go short for further continuations to the downside. All right, that's what I'm seeing right here. Now, will the market make it back there right now? I do not know, but those are levels that are clear right now on my charts. Okay, all right, next up is going to be the hourly time frame. Let's see if we get a push into this supply zone that I have mapped out here around 0.5680 area. And we begin to get a reversal, let's say during London, I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to continue to push, to ride this thing to the downside. All right, that's it for New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Next up is going to be US dollar, Swiss francs. Got caught a nice move earlier today in this one. Continues to be in an uptrend as anticipated from the weekly forex forecast. Without wasting much of your time, from the 4 hours time frame, I have this demand zone right here. Very beautiful demand zone. You can see this is the demand zone that led to the break of this level of structure right here. So well, I'm keeping an eye on this one. Whenever the market gives me a pullback into this area, any reversals, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go long. All right, if that doesn't happen, and let's say the market doesn't pull back to that area, and let's say in the hourly time frame, there is also a demand zone in here. I don't really trade the Asia session heavily, especially in a pair like US dollar Swiss francs. So I'm not really gonna be taking this, even if the market is to pull in here, because my anticipation is that this will probably be tested around the Asia session. Okay, unless, let's say, the market opens and for the next day, and let's say this pair begins to push to the upside, such that finally by the time we get to this demand zone, the market tests it around London or European markets. That's the only time I'm gonna be interested in taking it. All the same, this is still a very nice area to start searching for reversals for further continuations to the upside. Okay, that's pretty much what I can see right now in US dollar Swiss francs. Okay, next up is going to be US dollar Canadian dollar. Obviously, this one continues to be in a perpetual uptrend. I told you guys we're trending in the monthly markets, bouncing off of a monthly demand zone. All right, so we have a monthly demand zone, or let's say a daily demand zone inside a monthly demand zone. Okay, you can see this is the daily, the monthly break of structure, price pulls back, and you can see we are still on our way towards 1.4500 on the monthly time frame, and we are most likely going to get there. Right now we're still around 14100, so we still have about 400 pips pace to the upside, okay, before we even start thinking of this slowing down. So that's a lot of space to start searching for long opportunities. Okay, all right, so if we take this out of the way right now and we go into the, let's say, the daily time frame, obviously, as you can see, by the time the market closes today, we're probably going to be having a new demand zone. I just mapped it out because there's a very high chance we're going to be closing today's candle above this swing high that we have in this area. All right, so that's it. New demand zone is forming. Like I said, in the case of New Zealand dollar, US dollar, anytime this market is to give me a push into this area, I'll be looking for an opportunity to go long. All right, that is one. Now, next is obviously, this is probably not going to happen this week, in my own opinion. All right, it can, but it's not likely. All right, I just want to make sure that you guys understand where I'm coming from. Now, from the 4 hours time frame, this is obviously a demand zone that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. This one right here. Okay, this, oops, 1 second. This demand zone right here, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this demand zone. I didn't map it out, probably missed it in my analysis, but I just saw it right as soon as I started recording this stuff. Now, there's another demand zone in here in the 4 hours time frame. I just didn't map it out because I have a demand zone in the hourly in the same area. You can see this is the demand zone right now that is leading to the break of this level of structure. You can see we have a resistance here, we have a resistance here, and finally we are breaking to the upside. So we are breaking levels of resistance, so the bulls are in complete control in this market. Now, if I move into the hourly time frame, all right, I'm all over these charts looking for trading opportunities. All right, if we move into the hourly time frame, there are two demand zones of interest. All right, the first one being this one that is really close to price. All right, in this area, if we get reversals, price can just continue pushing to the upside from here. In the event that this doesn't happen, and let's say we just get a retracement, anytime we start dipping into this particular demand zone, any reversals from here will also be high quality in my own opinion, because we'll have a test of an hourly demand zone that is nested inside a 4-hour demand zone. All right, so this right here is going to be really high quality if we do get this pullback. Who knows? Only time will tell. Okay. All right, so that's it for US dollar, Canadian dollar. These are the areas that I'm keeping an eye on. Okay, generally bullish, and we still have a lot of room to the upside. Now, taking a look at the US dollar, Japanese yen, I have a trade right now. I actually posted this one in the Telegram channel a few minutes ago. In the daily time frame, this pair is obviously generally bullish, but that trade was taken off of the 4 hours time frame. We do have obviously a demand zone here in the daily. Price is still far from it, and I don't think we're probably going to get there. Who knows? Price can still easily give us a push to the downside to retest this channel, but there's a clear channel in the 4 hours time frame, rising channel. If we see, this is the channel I'm talking about, a very nice channel in my own opinion. And then this is the channel that US dollar, Japanese yen is currently moving on. We have a clear level of resistance right here around I think is this 156, 153 something. I don't even know what that number is. Okay, but clear level of resistance right around here. We also have a demand zone right here in the 4 hours time frame. But we do have a small demand zone in the, I think was it minute 30 or minute 50, and from here the market has tested, you know, this previous level of resistance that is now working as support, and we are beginning to turn around. Chances are that well, the bulls might just continue to push these markets to the upside. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, we start a new day and the market gives us a push to the downside into this demand zone area that we have on the 4 hours time frame, into, you know, this particular trend line that we have of this channel, and then that's another one. I'll just lose this trade, but then any reversals from here as well will be high quality trade for further continuations to the upside. Okay, so let's see. Regardless, I am only interested in buying US dollar, Japanese yen at this point. Okay, all right. Now, next up is going to be British pound, some Japanese yen. Now, this pair obviously has been dropping significantly. You can see, well, today was a very huge red candle. Just take a look at this candle. Markets open 202.50 area, and we are closing around 200 area. So that's a 250 pip move in one day. Okay, now even though the market is falling like this, I want to point out that, well, we have right now is an area of support. Okay, confluence of support. Price has now run into a trend line, as you can see here. Maybe I should move to the weekly so it becomes clear. Okay, yes. So in the weekly or in the daily, but I just want to use this because it's going to be clearer here. You can see that we do have this trend line. All right, we have a trend line in this area, and price is literally sitting on that particular trend line as we speak. You can see how that is, and that is actually the third bounce. Okay, you can see this is the trend line, and price has come back into that trend line. And not only that, this is a key level of resistance on our charts. Previous resistance, markets has gapped to the upside, you know, and now price has also pulled back to fill up that gap area, okay, which is a previous level of resistance as well, and also testing a trend line right around 200 institutional price level. Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in going long at this point. I'm in going short at this point, because this is a significant area of bullish confluence in my own opinion. If anything, I have my eyes all over these charts. Okay, I have my charts all over these charts to spot reversals. Okay, to spot clear reversal patterns, such that well, if the market begins to give me clear reversal in the smaller time frames, anywhere from right around here, I will be, if I start seeing a move like this, guys, I'll be looking for ways to go long in this pair to ride this thing back to the upside, okay, at least towards, let's say, 204.50 area, okay, 204.50 actually is gonna be my first target if I get that position. All right, but yes, this is what I'm interested in. The only time I'm gonna be interested in shorts will be if price clearly begins to take off, you know, this trend line, this area. Let's say if we get a massive push again to the downside, then, you know, any pullbacks, I might be interested in searching for short opportunities. But for now, and for where prices at the moment, I am only interested in, you know, reversals from here for any further continuations to the upside. All right, that is going to be my my course of action in British pounds, Japanese yen. All right, now if we take a look at the 4 hours time frame, you also notice how we had massive bearish candles, and then slowly but surely you can see we are now trading with very thin volume. Look at the last 12 hours. All right, very thin volume. And from here, if the Asia session opens and we begin to push to the upside, that might be an indication that, well, we're about to get that reversal, and from there the bulls might come into the market. That being said, we do have an area of supply in this area, in this box that I have here, and well, it's very possible that the markets might give us you know, a push to the upside into this particular zone. All right, and then from here maybe a little retracement, but as long as we don't take off this low and from here the markets begin to climb up to the upside again, that's going to be an indication that the bulls are now in this market for further continuations to the upside. Okay, just wanted to give you an idea of what I am going to be looking out for in British pounds and Japanese yen. All right, so that's pretty much it. You can see the bulls are coming back slowly but surely, but this is a zone to keep an eye on, in my own opinion. You know, that's pretty much it. That's what I'm seeing in GJ. All in all, my message is don't go shorts around current market price. Okay, if you must go shorts, I will advise, all right, personally, for you to wait for this zone to clearly give way to the downside, okay, before you start searching for short opportunities. But as long as we have that zone, we have this trend line, we have 200 institutional price level, and we have just filled up this gap, all right, grabbing liquidity below these lows, chances are that, well, this pair might really be about to head to the upside. So be careful, all right, or be guided. Okay, that's it for GJ. Next up is going to be Euro Yen. Again, Euro Yen is at a key level, in my own opinion. You can see we have a demand zone in the daily time frame, and price has just dipped into that demand zone that we have in the daily. And not just that, we also have dipped into the 4 hours demand zone that is nested inside the demand zone in the daily time frame. You can see this demand zone that led to the break of this level of structure that we have around here. Okay, so price has just dipped in, and just like in the case of GJ, chances are that we are probably going to be getting a push to the upside from here, and that kind of gives me an extra confidence in the US dollar Japanese yen trade that I currently have open. All right, that chances are we might be about to start going to the upside in the yen crosses. Okay, and when you pair that with you know, a dollar strength and yen weakness, then US dollar Japanese yen is really a pair that you want to be long in. Okay, all right, but again, that's just a trade that I have taken. Win or loss, it doesn't matter to me. Okay, next up is going to be Australian dollar Japanese yen. I don't have anything at this point in this particular currency pair. British pounds Australian dollar, I don't have anything either. For British pounds Japanese Australian dollar, I would really love to see price give me another nice push to the downside. Okay, I would love to see something of this nature happen, all right, so that price would retest this demand zone area that we have here, all right, so that anywhere from right around here, this is where I would like to start seeing reversals, and if that happens, then we are most likely going back to the upside. Okay, that's what I'm seeing right now in British pounds Australian dollar, but from an intraday perspective, I am not seeing anything. Okay, the market has just been pretty much ranging since we opened for the week. All right, so that's it for GAUD, nothing much. Next up is going to be Euro Pounds. I missed a trade today in this one. I know, but it's okay. It was almost like it played out to perfection. Okay, but again, not much in this pair, just a zone. Honestly, I'm not even gonna pay much mind to it, but this is just the zone that led to the break of this particular level of structure. You can see this level of resistance that we have around 0.8817. This is the zone that led to that break, and chances are that, well, if the market pulls back into this zone, we might get a reversal, all right, for further continuations to the upside. Maybe something of this nature might happen. Very, very possible, okay? Or who knows, markets can easily break it and just continue to dip to the downside. But I just wanted to point that out. It's not the best of zones. We don't have enough space either. This is 88.20. This is around 88.10. That's the 10 pip space. Not something that I'm so interested in. Okay. All right. So that's it for Euro pounds. Next up is Euro Australian dollar. Nothing much in that one. Now, next is gold. Gold right now, I know a lot of people are screaming that it's about to shoot all the way to the downside. Well, that is possible, but gold is moving in a clear push. Let's see. This is the demand zone, okay? This is the demand zone that we have here on the daily. The market's dipped into this demand zone and gave us a nice push to the upside. However, you can see that price literally ran into this supply zone right here. This is the supply zone that price ran into that led to the break of this demand zone that we have here. So there are obviously sellers trying to protect the supply zone. So it's almost like a battle between the buyers in this demand zone area and the sellers in this supply zone area. Now, in my own opinion, going long in gold from current market price is not a bad idea, because, well, if you are right, you have a very nice space to the upside, and with very minimal very minimal risk. Because honestly, if you are right, they shouldn't take off this low. And that is an easy 8.5 hour trade. In my opinion, that's a risk that is worth taking. I'm honestly thinking about taking that risk. But because right now, until the bears take off this low, right, we are still bullish, because again, we are in an uptrend and we are bouncing off of a demand zone. So the expectation is that, well, unless we start making lower lows, the bulls are still in control. So even though we had a very big bearish day today, in my opinion, the bulls are still in control until we take off this previous swing low. All right. So for now, if you can bite the needle, and maybe if your strategy calls for it, I think this is, even though it's maybe an aggressive entry, I think this is a nice level to probably be looking for opportunities to go long in gold. Okay. If you get stopped out, that's okay. Now, if we go into the hourly time frame, or maybe the 4 hours time frame, a more conservative approach, in my own opinion, will be to wait for price to take off this level of resistance that we have on our charts. Okay, maybe wait for price to give you, let's say, a push to the upside, take off this, and then maybe upon a retest of, let's say, 40.40, all right, anywhere from right around 40.40, if you get any reversal, this would be a nice area to start searching for long opportunities. That will be more conservative. Okay, obviously a lower risk to reward, but here, in my own opinion, if you can get it here and price doesn't take off this level, then that is a very nice trade. By the time we are breaking this high, you're probably sitting at around 2 or 3 hours already. All right, just wanted to kind of call this out. I'm thinking about it. Okay, next up is going to be silver. All right, now for silver, I don't have much. Very similar to gold. All right, not much here. There's also the possibility that price can just give us that turnaround from here. Until we take off this low, the bears are not yet in control. The bulls are still in control, in my own opinion. Okay, so again, the call is yours. I just want to show you what I am seeing on my charts. Now, the last but not the least is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, well, this pair right now, in my own opinion, from the weekly charts, we are pretty much very close to these lows. This could easily be like a double bottom area for price to take off to the upside. But again, that's around the 98.50 area, in my own opinion. No confirmation right now to go long, in my own opinion. This can easily bounce from here to start to the upside again, just to respect, let's say, this double bottom formation. All right, a price can easily give us a nice push to the upside from here, but in my own opinion, there is really no confirmation. Price is really trading very deeply inside this demand zone that we have in this area. Okay, so, well, I would say wait for confirmations if you must go long, and then when that happens, you might start searching for opportunities to continue riding this thing to the upside if you trade Bitcoin. All right, so that's pretty much it for this week's midweek forex forecast. Hopefully you guys gained some value from this video, and if you did, well, apply it to your trading. All right, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the weekly forex forecast video at the end of the week. Cheers, and whether you buy or sell, guys, remember to keep your risk managed. Bye bye.